Okay, let's dive into what is honestly a pretty chilling paradox. Like, why are the actual creators of artificial intelligence seemingly terrified of the very AI arms race they themselves are running? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack some truly brilliant and, frankly, a little alarming insights from historian Yuval Noah Harari. We are looking at a profound turning point in human history, right where the rapid acceleration of technology just slams head-on into human psychology.
To really wrap our heads around this, Harari warns that we first need to look at a historic and super dangerous shift happening all over the globe right now. And that is the collapse of human trust. You see, it's literally impossible to grasp the true threat of the AI arms race without first looking at the human beings who are running it. And right now, the foundation of how we cooperate as a species is cracking under pressure.
Section 1. A world losing trust. The geopolitical stage for the AI era. So, Harari points out that our recent, unprecedented era of global human cooperation, well, it's kind of unraveling into this zero-sum game where only power matters. And the contrast in the historical data is just wild. For thousands of years, empires, whether you're looking at the Romans or 19th century Britain, spent over 50% of their government budgets on the military. Half. But recently, in the early 21st century, that plummeted to a worldwide average of just 6 or 7%. Healthcare actually took the top spot at around 10%. We were living in this rare window where humanity basically prioritized healing over warfare. But with the global order starting to fracture, military budgets are just skyrocketing again. Harari notes that in nations like Russia, defense spending is surging right back up to an estimated 30 to 50% of the government budget. And this isn't just a spreadsheet update, right? It's a massive, flashing warning light signaling a profound, deep crisis of trust between humans on a global scale. Because as leaders poke at the metaphorical scars of their nations to sow division rather than heal them, the absolute bedrock of human society starts to collapse. And here is where it gets incredibly dangerous. As our trust in human institutions completely tanks, that trust begins shifting away from organic beings and toward algorithms. Think about that. We are losing faith in each other at the exact moment we're birthing an entirely new kind of intelligence. Section 2. AI. Agent, not tool. A profound paradigm shift. Now, if you take away just one single thing from this explainer today, please let it be this paradigm shift. Harari warns that we absolutely must stop thinking of AI as just another passive human invention. It is not a hammer. It's not a car. AI is an agent. And honestly, that distinction changes everything. See, unlike the printing press or even the atom bomb, which were ultimately just tools completely controlled by human hands, AI is effectively an alien intelligence. A tool basically sits there and waits for you to use it, right? But an agent can independently make decisions, it learns on its own, and it can even change itself. Actually, Harari argues that if it can't learn and adapt by itself, it isn't even true AI.
A truly mind-blowing, real-world example of this agency is AlphaGo. So the ancient Chinese game of Go has been played by tens of millions of people for over 2,000 years. We've really thought we knew every possible strategy. But then AlphaGo comes along and uncovers entirely new ways to play the game in just a few days. It was inventing moves that no human mind had even conceived of in 2 millennia. It didn't just calculate, it created.
Section 3. The AI arms race. Why tech CEOs cannot hit the brakes. Which brings us to the core of the AI arms race and the frankly terrifying psychological trap that tech tycoons find themselves stuck in right now. You might be wondering, if this tech is so powerful and unpredictable, why are the smartest people on Earth rushing to release it? Well, when Harari speaks with these leaders privately, they'll admit they are terrified of AI's power. But they're trapped in a classic prisoner's dilemma. Because they lack mutual trust, they are heavily incentivized to just keep pushing the boundaries. They're terrified that if they stop, someone with much worse intentions is going to beat them to the finish line.
When Harari directly asks them, why don't you just slow down? Give society a second to digest this. Their answer is chilling. They claim they have to race ahead because they literally cannot trust their human competitors, whether that's in other companies or other countries, to hit the brakes too. They genuinely believe that if they pause, the world is ultimately going to be ruled by the most ruthless actors. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate paradox that Harari finds, well, almost insane. These leaders completely distrust human psychology.
even though we have thousands of years of experience dealing with human drives and knowing how to keep them in check. Yet they will blindly trust the unpredictable, superintelligent AI they are rapidly deploying, a technology we have virtually zero experience with.
Section 4. Surrendering human control. When algorithms run society.
Because of this completely unchecked AI arms race, the real danger isn't some sci-fi robot rebellion. No, it's the quiet, highly efficient handover of our core human institutions to algorithms that we just can't comprehend anymore. Harari fears AI could soon take over massive societal pillars. Imagine an AI inventing financial products that are orders of magnitude more complex than the ones that caused the 2008 crash, triggering a market meltdown that no human can even decipher. Or consider AI dictating military strategy. Even religion isn't immune. An AI could perfectly memorize every single scripture and act as an unquestionable religious authority, rendering human clerics basically obsolete.
So we are forced to ask some very concrete, immediate questions right now. For instance, should we allow an AI to open a bank account? Under current corporate law in places like the US, a corporation is legally a person. So it's technically possible right now to have a corporate entity entirely managed by an AI, earning profits, making business decisions, and potentially even pouring money into political campaigns. Just what we need, right? An algorithm out there lobbying for tax breaks?
What you really should take away from this is the profound threat to democracy itself. Look, if algorithms alone understand the financial markets, the complex legal frameworks, or the cutting-edge medical research they're navigating, democratic leaders will completely lose their ability to manage or regulate the system. A politician who doesn't understand the system is a politician who has completely lost control of it.
Section 5. Reclaiming our future. The choice is still ours. Now, despite this totally ominous trajectory, Harari insists that history is never deterministic. We are not doomed to just play out some tragic script here. We still have choices to make, and we definitely still have room to maneuver if we act with intention. To reclaim our future, we've got to follow a few vital steps. First, we must recognize AI for what it actually is, an independent agent. Second, everyone needs at least a rudimentary understanding of this technology. We just can't afford to be ignorant anymore. If the general public gets the stakes, we can actually engage in the conversation and make collective decisions, rather than blindly accepting the dictates of a few tech billionaires trapped in their own paranoia. Which leaves us with this final, truly critical question for you to consider. As we stand on the edge of this precipice, will humanity overcome its crisis of trust to harness AI together for the greater good? Or will we just surrender our future, our institutions, and our societies to the quiet rule of an alien intelligence? The choice is entirely up to us. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking the tough questions, and I'll catch you next time.